We bring you the lunch edition of MBC News with me, Nkhani. Coming up this afternoon, Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority justifies fuel price hike as regulators bemoan geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. Malawi Broadcasting Corporation (MBC) celebrates 27 years of television broadcasting. And in sports, Goshen City Desert Dynamos plans to establish businesses that will help generate more income for the club. Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority (MERA) has disclosed that the recent fuel price adjustment is temporary, pending the ongoing war in the Middle East. MERA acting CEO Dad Chintambi said this during a press briefing in Lilongwe. MERA on Wednesday morning adjusted petrol and diesel prices by 34% and 35% respectively, whilst jet fuel price has also been adjusted by an average of 80%. Chintambi adds that once the situation changes, fuel price will also be revised downwards. Government is drafting a bill that will compel engineers and contractors to consult the Ministry of Natural Resources on designing and building climate-resilient structures. Minister of Natural Resources Patricia Wiskesi said this in Lilongwe during the commemoration of World Meteorological Day. She said priority design infrastructure is costing the country billions of kwacha. Sam Piri has more in this report read by Helix Manemba.
At the time when roads are breaking, some structures along the lake are submerged and lives have been lost due to collapsing walls. The country commemorated the World Meteorological Day in Lilongwe. In her address, the Minister of Natural Resources, Patricia Wiskes, was brand that building structures that are not climate resilient has pushed billions into bottomless pit. She said the ministry is championing a bill which will require engineers and contractors to consult the ministry on how they can build structures that can withstand climate shocks.
We want to work with contractors and architects to make sure that the way they construct their respective infrastructures are in such a way that the design will be able to be climate resilient. We have recently, as a country, experienced an increasing number of structures that have fallen down due to extreme weathers, and as a ministry we are coming up with a law that will actually bind architects and contractors to make sure that the type of buildings they construct has actually structural integrity that can withstand any harsh weathers.
During the celebrations, the minister also launched a State of Climate report for 2025, which outlined on how the country was impacted by last year's weather. Commenting on the report, Director for the Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services, Alusem Tiratira, said the report outlined opportunities and cost of not adhering to weather warnings.
The report is seeing how the climate affected the production to some extent, and also how the climate increased the lake levels and what that does mean to people maybe residing along the lakes as well. And it also talks about heat waves. We are seeing that last year the temperatures were above normal over many places. So this triggered also heat waves and also affected crops, because every time when you have a heat wave, that means also the crops, they feel some moisture stress. So all that put together, you see it in various sectors how the climate really fared.
This year's commemorations were held under the theme Observing Today, Protecting Tomorrow, and encouraged different sectors to invest in early warning systems and invest in shaping a climate resilient future.
Parliament has amended 4 tax laws, namely the Taxation Act, the Value Added Tax (VAT) Act, the Customs and Excise Act, as well as the Tax Administration Act. Some key changes are the introduction of VAT on digital platforms such as YouTube and Facebook, and an adjustment on the threshold for VAT taxpayers. Minister of Finance Joseph Mwanamveka has described the amendments as critical towards improving domestic revenue mobilization. Details in this report by Trust Office.
The amendment of the 4 tax laws forms part of the guidelines for the effective implementation of the 2026-2027 national budget, which was pegged at 10.9 trillion kwacha. The Minister of Finance Joseph Mwanamveka highlighted that the amendments will boost domestic revenue mobilization as the country pushes to tap resources from the digital economy, improve efficiency in tax administration, but also address tax evasion.
Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, the bill also seeks to change the mineral royalty payment period from quarterly to monthly. This amendment will improve government's cash flow. Mr. Speaker, sir, you may also recall that this August House passed a motor vehicle insurance levy at 2% to support the Ministry of Health in addressing cases of road accidents.
UTM spokesperson Felix Njawala has since commended the government for the reduction of rental income tax from 30% to 15%, which he describes as affordable for most people.
It's not about overtaxing people, but it's about broadening the tax base. So maybe this is one of the areas that probably needs enhancement. This has already, it was there. This 30% has been there. Maybe what is happening now is just enforcement and also reduction of the percentage so that people can comply.
And Malawi Congress Party spokesperson Peter Dimba hopes the tax administration amendment will help protect Malawi's resources from transfer pricing, which is estimated at $500 million.
Apart from increasing production so that we export more and earn more forex, but the little forex that we have, can we please make sure that we protect it? And so that's why we fully supported this bill, because it's going to go a long way in making sure that we fight issues of transfer pricing and other malpractices in tax administration.
The tax laws which support the implementation of the national budget are expected to take effect on 1 April this year. Trust Office, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Ministry of Transport has disclosed that plans are underway to expand the Malawi Airlines fleet as the company broadens its destinations both domestically and internationally. Minister of Transport Japi Mhango said this in response to a question from Dedza Mlunduni Member of Parliament Moses Kunkuyu, who emphasized the need for additional aircraft in the Malawi Airlines fleet. Mhango further noted that government has embarked on key development projects expected to boost tourism activities. He explains.
The airport in Mzuzu is being improved. We've improved the runway, we've improved the buildings. A few things are now left. We believe that maybe if all else is equal, in the next 12 weeks, we should be able to have flights between Lilongwe and Mzuzu. Karonga is not yet ready. With still more investment there. More investment is required. So once that is done, flights will also extend to Karonga. Karonga is becoming a mining hub. With Kairekea now operational, the need for flights to Karonga is more pronounced now than before. So we are moving very, very steadily to make sure that Mzuzu and Karonga have good flights.
Maybe lastly, how do you feel this may promote tourism, both domestic and even attracting foreign tourists?
Well, when you cut back on travel time, it also enhances business. People should be able to fly into Lilongwe from Mzuzu, Blantyre to Lilongwe in the morning to conduct their business and fly back. The driving can be more hectic because of the distances. So when you have got almost of transport functional, movement of people is enhanced.
Today, April 1, marks 27 years of television broadcasting in Malawi. Television Malawi, TVM, which is the first television station in the country, started broadcasting to the nation in 1999. First Director General of TVM, now MBC TV, Benson Temple, has described the 27 years of TV broadcast in the country as a mixed bag, saying the public television broadcaster has incorporated a lot of exciting and development-oriented programs. Tembo, who is also the current board chairperson for MBC, further said there is more the television station can do in terms of staff capacity development as well as tapping from technological developments in the digital world.
Yes, I think MBC has developed programs. There are programs that are very exciting to watch. I think in terms of the human resource, there's something more that we could do. There's need for more training. I think in terms of technology, the digital transformation brings in a lot of opportunities, and it does shrink the requirement of a lot of human resource, but it has not been tapped as such. And I do think that's an area where we can then improve, and by improving, we'll be making sure that we are saving some of the costs that MBC would incur. So my view about the growth, I think it's a good positive growth. It can be done better, and I think we have opportunities that we can tap into going forward.
As a way of commemorating the day, MBC TV is featuring veteran broadcasters in its programming.
Working in the newsroom, because I grew up here in the newsroom, this space I grew up here, it was difficult and challenging because we had only 4 cameras, and these are analog cameras using the Betacam system, not the DVCam. Or now we've gone further to other digital appliances and cameras for 8K, but that time it was digital, it was analog. So for analog, it meant that you had to work extra hard to meet the deadlines of the news production. We were going on air, mind you, at first we used to record the bulletin, then we went live. That meant it was like the news was coming live in the final control center. So we had a lot of tapes, people running up and down. It was very difficult. Nowadays it's easier because it's digital, it's online, you can produce news right here in the newsroom and just go and air it.
Some viewers of the Malawi Broadcasting Corporation MBC television have commended the public broadcaster for promoting the country's culture and development through its programming. The remarks come as the institution celebrates 27 years of television services in the country, scheduled for 1st April 2026. Ruth Chinangwa reports.
A snap survey conducted by Malawi Broadcasting Corporation in the districts of Cholo, Nkhotakota and Karonga have revealed that a significant number of Malawians are actively following development-oriented programs that are aired on MBC TV. The findings further indicate that the viewership of such programs have been steadily increasing over the years, reflecting growing public interest in national development issues. Viewers say the public broadcaster's content has helped raise awareness on key areas such as agriculture, education and community development, thereby contributing to positive changes in their daily lives. Here are some of the views gathered by MBC.
Actually, the journey it has been so difficult, but for me, I'm always appreciate the programs, every program which I'm watching there on the TV. Yeah, there's several programs. I'm very interested in watching those programs, morning programs, but also there's kids programs.
MBC, as a mother of all TVs here in Malawi, we have benefited so much because of their programs. Programs are not, I can't compare with the other programs, because in MBC really touched people in all angles. Yeah, like spiritual things, maybe according to our culture, they are good.
When I watch MBC TV, I learn quite a lot of things. The TV is really educative, informative, and entertaining in a number of ways. For instance, through the news bulletins, we get a lot of information. Through the various programs on education, on health, on agriculture, and many other programs, we get a lot of information on how to do certain things. We are also entertained through other programs, like we have the program in Chichewa Pamajika and other programs. I remember there is also Theatre of the Air, which it has some drama. Very entertaining indeed.
There are a lot of changes in Chipa going on in Malawi going onwards. We expect changes in terms of agriculture. We expect changes in terms of business. We expect changes in terms of even spiritually. We even expect changes because as we watch TV, we expect all such changes in Malawi.
MBC Television was the first television station in Malawi, established in April 1999. Ruth Chinangwa, MBC News, Blantyre.
This is MBC News, a reminder of our top stories. Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority justifies fuel prices hike as regulators bemoan geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. Malawi Broadcasting Corporation (MBC) celebrates 27 years of television broadcasting. And in sports, Goshen City Deza Dynamos plans to establish businesses that will help generate more income for the club. Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority (MACRA) has completed the scrutiny of applications from former broadcasting and courier services license holders whose licenses were revoked within the past 10 years and have since expressed interest in having them reinstated. MACRA's head of International Relations and Communications, Limbani Sapato, revealed that interviews with all applicants were successfully conducted. Sapato said MACRA board is now expected to review the recommendations and make a final decision.
We had applications in the broadcasting category. We had 10 applicants that expressed interest to be reconsidered, and in the courier category we had 1 applicant. First of all, it's not automatic. That's because they reapplied, then they automatically get their licenses back. So we called them for interviews because obviously by the time the licenses were being revoked, they had issues with the authority, others to do with delayed or overdue license fees. So we called them for interviews, one, to hear from them, for instance, how ready they are for in the event that they were reconsidered for a new license. How ready are they? If they had unpaid license fees, how do they intend to settle those outstanding fees? That was part of the interviews. From those interviews, the team that was undertaking the interviews made recommendations. Those recommendations will go to the MACRA board, who will deliberate on a case-to-case basis and decide the final position for each applicant. That decision may include maybe there could be certain conditions attached to a specific applicant. That's up to the board to decide.
The Lilongwe City Council has launched a clean-up campaign in the city. Mayor of the city, Peter Banda, says the initiative follows the directive by President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika and is being inspired by the Beautify Malawi Trust BIM. The city has since assured residents that it will support markets with the necessary tools to boost the cleaning exercise in the city. More in this report written by Mpatso Mataya and is being read by Trinity Kapantengo.
Speaking at the launch, Chief Executive Officer of Lilongwe City, Clement Stambuli, said the council will fix a number of refuse collection vehicles to improve waste management. He added that plans are underway to purchase more refuse collection vehicles and to conduct an awareness campaign to empower residents to recycle the waste.
Not just looking at recycles, we are looking at ensuring that we have a number of refuse collecting trucks. As of now, we are having one working, so it's incumbent upon me to ensure that we have a number of them working. So we are looking at repairing some of the trucks, which are at our engineering department. But what is important is civic education. And that civic education will also have to go with some equipment such as bins to be placed in strategic places, so at least people should be dropping whatever they're supposed to throw away in the bins.
Chairperson of Nsongwe Market, Albert Joao, welcomed the development, stating that they will work with the council to boost hygiene, saying unhealthy people cannot contribute to the economic development of a country.
Yeah, it's very important for authorities to take part to make sure that the market is so clean, because as you know, a sick person cannot take part in the development, and a sick person cannot work hard to make sure that their life is good. So we need to have the good market and clean market, so that sanitation and the welfare of the people is being utilized. Yeah, as you can see, we are able to clean the market, but now transferring of the waste from the departments or from the drains to the main dumping site is the main problem. That's why we are asking, if possible, if we can be given this tricycle, or at least given a chance to have this, so that we can be transferring all the waste from the departments and the drainage to the main dumping site. That would be so much welcome.
The exercise is expected to expand to other public spaces such as hospitals, schools and other markets.
Councillor for Ruwinga Ward in Mzuzu City, Clavel Dapalapa Mhango, was sworn in on Tuesday during a ceremony held at the City Council chamber. Mhango of Ojazaga Libe Mlandu Party won the position in a by-election conducted on March 17 this year. Rudovika Nyurenda has more.
Speaking during the ceremony, Mayor for Mzuzu City, Chiembegezo Moses, urged Mhango to work together with the fellow councillors.
We are lacking him in the Ruwinga Ward because there was no councillor. So as of now, I'm very happy as a mayor of Mzuzu City that we have a councillor in the Ruwinga Ward. So I've encouraged him to work hard to support the community.
Mzuzu City Council Chief Executive Officer Gomeziani Nyasuru said the new councillor will help drive development that people in his ward are seeking.
That ward was not ably represented, and there was that communication gap. We never wanted to provide any development initiative. So with this, it is now a full house for the council to progress.
Councillor Mhango said he will promote unity in the Ruwinga ward regardless of political differences, and also highlighted his development priorities, which include establishing a healthy facility, building a modern market, and creating opportunities for youth in various skills-based jobs.
First thing, I have to thank God for this great moment in my life.
and in general, Malawi as a whole, and the people of Ruringa, they have to expect good things from me as their servant. I'll make sure that I deliver what the people are elected me for.
City Council currently has 15 councillors. Rudovico Nyirenda, MBC News, Muzozo.
Goshen City Dedza Dynamos has intensified plans to commercialize the club in order to remain strong both financially and on the pitch. The club's new chairperson, Gerard Kampanigiza, disclosed to NBC that they will use part of the sponsorship package by the Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and community business operators to establish businesses for the club to generate income to sustain the team further. Kampanigiza explains.
For continuity, the new executive is also looking into this issue, and it's an ongoing process whereby we are sharing ideas on how best we can achieve this thing. And now that we have sponsorship from Prophet Shepherd Bushiri through the Goshen City, we are going to use this money properly, and also look into other means on how best we can use the same money to commercialize our team, like to venture into various businesses that can be generating money for the team. I have welcomed this responsibility wholeheartedly. It is a call from the people who looked at me and said this one can do the needful, and they elected me to be the chairperson for Goshen City as a Dynamos. Or I can say that I'm going to do exactly what they want me to do. But for me to perform better, I will rely much on them also to work hand in hand with me. Whenever there is an issue, we should always come together and find a way on how best we can address the issues affecting our team.
And that item wraps up this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority justifies fuel prices hike as regulators bemoan geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. Malawi Broadcasting Corporation (NBC) celebrates 27 years of television broadcasting. And in sports, Goshen City Dedza Dynamos plans to establish businesses that will help generate more income for the club. For the latest news, follow our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You've been with me, Ethel Kumalawi. Thanks for watching and goodbye.